Now, here is the unedited version of the hotel assault on Cassie Ventura. Now, I want you to watch this very closely. If you remember, the video that the whole world saw, she was putting on her shoes, waiting on the elevator, when Diddy came running out, knocked her down, right? Grabbed those bags, kicked her. Then I believe he kicked her again, picked up the bags, kicked her again with his foot. Then he grabbed her by a hood and dragged her. And it seemed like he was dragging her back to the room because that's when it cut off. But he actually stops and leaves her right there. So he never drags her back into the room. Remember how they were trying to say, oh, he beat her and dragged her back into the freak off because she wanted to leave the freak off? That's actually not true. They're actually in between sessions, right? And she was scheduled to leave. She was scheduled to leave. But she grabbed a phone or either it was a phone of hers or a phone of Diddy's. However it was a phone that he did not want her to take. Now she's on the phone to call down to security. She's on the wooden phone. She's there with a hood on. Diddy still hasn't come back. Now he comes back into the hallway. She puts her hands up, right? It looks like he's coming to snatch a phone. He probably went back there and said, "Where's my phone?" Now, as you see, he has the phone in his hand. He walks back away. Now, she's still over there. Here he comes back again, and then he sits down. If you can see, this is a double room, like you see the mirror. He sits on the mirror, and that's where he took the vase off of the little desk and threw it at her. So she then picks the phone up again to call down to security, and he walks back to the room. So now that is the last interaction of the physical violence. My point being is that with this full video, I believe this is what the defense meant by saying that video makes it look worse than what it is. Of course, there's no defense for him ever putting his hands on Cassie or any other woman. But what they want to say is, remember, this video they are trying to use as the racketeering, the coercion, that she was trying to get away from a freak off and he was dragging her back into the freak off. That is not the case. Now, here comes security up to the floor, asking Cassie, and then he's asking her to leave, and there's Puff sitting right there. He's saying, come on, leave. He's talking to Puff, whatever the case may be. She's talking to him like, listen, let's whatever, don't cause a scene. There's a cop, there's a camera, this, that, and the other. She's still pleading with him like, yo, what are we going to do? Right? She's saying, I got a premiere to go to. I have to go home and get ready. I have to go to a premiere. That's what she was getting her clothes. She probably had her dress in the bag with her, whatever. But she is trying to leave to get ready for this premiere for, I believe that movie was not called The Best Man, but whatever the movie was called, right? That was a movie with Terrence J. and Robert Christopher Riley and those people. Now, this is the security guard that testified on Monday. He's the one that was called. He's still kind of chuckling with Diddy. He's like, listen, let's go back to the room. And this is actually it from another angle. All right? My point is, when the defense was saying there the actual footage that you're going to see in court is not the footage that the whole world saw. And they said this is going to show a different story. And what this story shows, what this unedited version, the 15-minute version shows, is him, he goes in there, kicks her, or whatever, right? Of course, we can't, he's not going to be able to defend that. But then he drags her right there. He does not drag her back to the room for a freak off. He drags her right there. He drags her right there, and then that's it. And then she leaves. She goes and calls security, right? He's coming back now, and then she's calling security to get her bag. And when he sees her calling security, that's it. He can't do anything else because security's coming up. Now, it does not matter why. It doesn't matter why he didn't drag her back to the freak off. But the point is, he didn't. And when you have that little video and they cut it off as soon as he's dragging her, it makes it seem as though he's dragging her back to the room. This is what the defense was talking about. So once again, he takes her bag. She's saying, give me my bags. He doesn't want her to leave. Saying, give me my bags, right? So that's the reason why she called security. And then the security is going to go and say, dude, give her her bags. Because he put the bags back in the room, comes back out again. Security guard is basically telling him, listen, you got to give her bags. She's trying to leave. She just said, I just want my bags. I just want to leave. He said, do you want to press charges? Do you want me to call the police? And then he's yelling. As you can see, Puff is yelling, upset, because she probably told him, I want my bags. And now the security guard is telling him, you have to give her her bags. Right? This is a domestic dispute. That's all it is. That's all it is. And to me, the defense is going to get up there, and that's what they're going to say. They're going to win this one. They're going to win, not saying they're going to win the case, but they're going to have to find another situation to prove coercion, because this doesn't prove it. Because they were saying the fight was not over her leaving a freak off. Because she knew. Then here goes Cassie leaving. So, but it doesn't look like she got the bag back. I never seen him bring the bag back. Right? I never saw him bring the bag back, so it doesn't look like she even got the bag. Or maybe those bags she was carrying was his bag, but she just had her clothes in it. But whatever the case may be, she didn't get the bag back. Now, the most important part of this video, like I said, everybody's saying, oh, but it doesn't matter. He still beat her. People have to stop talking about the beating. We all know, we can see, everyone has eyes. We can see that Puffy beat Cassie. And we believe that every single time she has said he beat her, we believe it because we see this in front of our face. That lets us know what he's capable of. We've seen all the pictures online where you see her bruises, and you've seen her pictures online where she looks upset, where you can see him making certain faces at her. Okay, we believe it. You don't have to convince us of that. But what this does not show is coercion, because he could have continued to drag her back to the room. If he wanted her to come back into that room, he could have continued to drag her back into the room. But he stopped her right there, right? And when he came back, grabbed the phone from her, and went back into the room. Now you got to remember, here comes Cassie back, and she's probably saying, I need my bag. That's Cassie coming back. She's saying, I need my bags. That's my stuff for my premiere. I need my bags. And she goes back, I guess because the security guy's back there. Right? Remember, she needs to go to a premiere. And I believe the next time you see Cassie, I believe she has the bag. I'm going to see. Unless this is just replaying the other part. But I think she went downstairs and then said, you know what? I got to get my bag. Yeah, so she comes back and now she has her bag and the stuff she needed. Shoes, bag, and she's gone. And now the security guard is going to make sure she gets out okay. Comes out. And so that is the reason why I believe that this video is actually better for the defense. So when people get, oh, it doesn't matter whether they speed it up, slow it down, he still stomped her out. Yes, we know that. But that's not what they were talking about. I fully believe they were talking about this shows that he did not drag her. You know, in the short video, you just got to leave it up to interpretation. Be like, well, he was dragging her, so he probably dragged her back to the room. And from the area you couldn't see. That's what they meant by they was chopping it up and editing it and stuff like that. But from here, you can actually see it. On the short video, you couldn't tell that he just dragged her right there in the hallway. So, let me know what y'all think about this. I believe that the defense is going to say, you see, she left, so it's no false imprisonment. He wasn't holding her. She left. Right? After he got his phone, after dragging her, he didn't touch her again. She was able to leave on her own. So, y'all let me know what you think. It's your boy, Heaven Hollywood, for the IE Network.